The biggest question anyone trying to develop their physique has to face. Should you cut or should you bulk? Should you bulk or should you cut? After watching this video, you'll have a better idea of which direction you should go. But there's a couple things you're gonna have to learn to make sure that you're picking the right choice. All right, let's get to it. First things first, guys, I want to take this moment to thank you all for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. It's a big milestone. I appreciate you all. The support's been great. The feedback's been great. I didn't even think I'd get to this point, but here we are. We're at 1,000 subscribers. Appreciate every one of you, and I hope that you guys are getting things from this channel that are helping you with your fitness goals. And if there are any other things you'd like me to cover, if there's any questions you have, feel free to hit me up. Drop in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, LOCDZOE, LOCDZOE. You can send me a DM there. I just want to make as much impact as I can when it comes to this fitness stuff and keep it as simple as possible. Because, I want all you guys to get jacked. I want all you guys to, remodel your birthday suit. I want all you guys to be in the physique of your dreams without overcomplicating it, without losing your mind. So that's why I'm here. Thank you for the support. Let's get to 2,000 next, and then 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever. I'm here to stay, guys. I'm here to stay. Should you cut or should you bulk? This is a big question a lot of people ask. Or a question that you'll probably face the deeper you get into this journey. So we should probably talk about, what that means. In a nutshell, we're gonna keep this simple. Bulking means you're getting bigger and you're just, becoming, big ape, a monster. Bulk, like you want to get huge, swole, right? Jacked. Getting cut, you're going the other direction. You're trying to get smaller. You're trying to lose body fat. You're not just trying to lose weight. You're trying to lose body fat, get lean, ripped, shredded. All right. So let's kind of dive into this real quick. I'm going to help you guys make a decision on which direction you should go. One's not better than the other. They're just different. And let's see which one will work best for you. So let's start off with bulking. All right. You should bulk if you want more muscle and you want more strength. All right. You should bulk if you want more muscle, you want more strength. You're going to be eating more food. You're going to be in a caloric surplus. You're going to be in an environment where you can put on tissue. So if you want more muscle, right? Let's say you're too skinny, or when you lose weight, you don't like what you look like. You're just kind of a smaller, flabby version. You're gonna want to put muscle. That's what's gonna fix the skinny fat problem. That's what's gonna fix the skinny fat problem. And if you want to get stronger, when you get bulkier, your leverages start to change a bit, and you become more. You get more an advantage to lift heavier weights, especially with the barbell lifts. When you just have more, mass moves mass. And yes, strength isn't only a correlation to muscle, but the more muscle you have, the more strength you can potentiate. So you have the potential to just be a lot stronger because you just have more fibers. Because you have more muscle. So if you want more muscle and want more strength, definitely bulk. If you don't mind accepting a little fluff, you should bulk. And here's what I mean by that. No, you're gonna put on body fat when you put on tissue, when you gain weight. It's just a reality. And some people are afraid of that, but here's the thing. You shouldn't be afraid of this if you do it properly. All right. Don't go overboard. You should still be eating, good food. You should still be eating 80% real food. A little junk might help, but you want to keep all the good habits that you had, even on a cut, on a bulk, so your physique doesn't go to crap. A little fluff is okay, but you can always get rid of that later. Fat loss is easy, and it's like, at least in comparison, muscle building takes a very long time in comparison. So accept a little fluff. It can always come back. You can always get rid of it later. You are prepared for a prolonged structured training plan. The thing with bulks, they take time. If you think you're just going to bulk for 2-3 months, don't waste your time. It's not going to do anything. If it's part of an overall massing phase where you're bulking, then, doing a mini cut, then bulking again, doing a mini cut, that you can deal like that. Yeah, sure. But overall, you want to stick to bulking for, I would say on the low end, at least 6 months. At least I'd push it for 8 months to a year and or more. I basically bulked in like my whole all my 20s. You know what I mean? And it made the cut so much easier because the more muscle you have, the more efficient your metabolism will be. So burning calories just becomes a lot easier. So when it's time to burn fat, it's so much easier. And if you have more muscle, you burn more calories. So you need more calories to like be alive, making cuts easier because you don't have to cut as much food. All right. So muscle is super important and it'll help you in the cut, which we'll talk about later. All right. You don't mind eating even if you're not hungry. You don't mind eating if you're not hungry, even if you're not hungry. So at the tail end of bulks, I remember at the tail end of my bulk, I got up to like 700 grams of carbs a day. And I'll tell you what, guys, I love to eat, but damn, it's a lot of food. It's a lot of food. I think I was at like almost 5,000 calories. And there's some people eating way more than that. At some point at an extremity of both spectrums, it's gonna be a challenge. All right. Just like in cutting it, it's hard to eat less food. In bulking, there's gonna get to a point, especially dependent on how your metabolism is. You're gonna be eating even though you're not hungry, which can be a chore. It can be a nightmare sometimes, but it's just one of those things you just got to deal with. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, way overboard, but it might get to a point if muscle growth is what you're super serious about, it might get to a point where you're just eating a lot of food. You know what I mean? But, it's not a bad thing. I like food, but it gets to a point, it gets a lot. So you just have to be ready to follow a plan and make sure that you stay on top of, the time you eat, all that good stuff. But, you have to be okay with eating a lot of food. That's, you have to think of your body as a house. Okay. If you want a bigger house, you need more material. You need material to build a bigger house. What do you think that material is? It's food. It's food. So food is your best friend on bulks. And you're going to be eating a lot of it. You're ready to train like a savage. You have to train hard to make muscle grow. I got plenty of videos on that. I'll make more videos in the future. I'm not going to cover that too much, but you need to train like a savage, meaning you need to train hard. You need to train a failure or really, really close to it. You just have to be, you just need a lot of intention in the gym. When I go to the gym, I'm literally on a mission. I'm going to war. And it's no games. It's not time to play. It's time to get in and do some damage. Train like a savage. Go in there knowing you have a mission because every rep counts in the long scheme of things, okay? And last but not least, you want to look bigger in your clothes. So the cool thing about bulks, right? Yeah, you put on a little fluff, so your six-pack might disappear. You might get a little round in the face, might be a little bit tubbier, a little chunkier. But the cool thing is, in clothes, you look like a mammoth, like an absolute unit. What I loved about when I was at my full bulk, I was about 275 pounds. I put on a shirt, man, and I looked like a house. I loved it. It was awesome. I'm eating a lot of food. I'm looking beefy as heck. It's a great feeling, It's a nice trade-off when you don't have like the six-pack and the veins and like the chiseled face. It's a nice trade-off to just feel like a beast. And if you're a security guard or a bouncer or something, that might help you, with your job, just from an intimidation factor. But yeah, you look bigger in clothes, and if that's something you're interested in, you just want to look good in a t-shirt, bulking might be the way because you're just gonna pop. All right. So that's if you like most of these things, you should definitely bulk. All right. Now let's move on to cutting. You should cut if you want to reduce your body fat. All right. Let's say you're just overweight or you just have too much fat on your body over your muscles. Cutting will reveal that. All right. Cutting will definitely help that. And just from a health standpoint, cutting is good in the terms of just getting your body fat to a level where you're just in a healthier range. But again, healthy range doesn't mean under 10% because that's when things get weird. You accept you're not building muscle but preserving it. This is the hard truth that some folks can't grasp, and I'm here to tell you right now. When you're in a cut, your idea of building muscle, get that out of your head, okay? I'm not saying you can't, but that is not the point of the cut. And unless you're on a crap load of drugs, you're most likely not going to be building more tissue during the cut. The cut is to reveal what you've been working on in the bulk. So you have to basically go into a cut, just understanding that you're preserving everything that you built. Okay. You're prepared to embrace a disciplined, structured approach. The thing with cuts is you have to switch the flip. All right. You got to turn the flip on. You have to turn the switch on. Now, me personally, I do better in cuts because that's how kind of my journey started when it comes to like physique development. The cool thing is that like when you're seeing your body physically change on a weekly basis, it can be pretty motivating. But you have to be disciplined. All the little nuances, all the little details start to matter more now. You can't get away with as much. So I would definitely embrace being disciplined and following a structured plan and just sticking to it. Not saying it has to be extra strict, but it needs to be structured. It needs to be something that you can follow day in and day out so you can get to your results as soon or as efficiently as possible. You don't mind being hungry. This is one of the parts where people fail the most when it comes to cuts, dealing with hunger. And there are a lot of strategies that you can use to combat hunger. So think about it this way, right? Think of hunger as a signal your brain is telling your body to get rid of something. All right. The first thing it's going to want to get rid of is muscle. Why? Because muscle is metabolically expensive. It takes a lot to keep muscle on. Okay. You got to train hard and you got to eat a lot of protein. That's the only way muscle sticks around. So if you're getting less energy, less food in, your body's going to be like, dude, we need to ease this thing up. We need to make this easier on ourselves. Let's get rid of what's hard to hold on to. So it's going to want to get rid of muscle. But if you're training really hard, you're recovering properly, and you're eating enough protein, your body's not going to have a choice but to say, hey man, we have our hands full. We have to keep this protein. We have to keep this muscle around because we're getting a lot of protein, and it's always, it's always going toward the gym. So we need to resort to something else. So the next thing your body's gonna look at is fat. It's body fat. It's gonna go after body fat next. Okay. So think of hunger as just think of hunger as that signal telling your brain telling your body to get rid of something. And if you're doing everything properly, it's gonna get rid of body fat. And that's just the way it is. You just gotta deal with it. All right. Now, ways to combat hunger, I highly suggest this is where high voluminous foods come into play. A lot of vegetables, a lot of foods high in fiber, and protein is satiating as well. You just need to, again, it comes back to having a strategic, structured approach. You're going to have cravings. Well, screw it. You want to get lean or not. It's not that you can't include foods that you love, because at the end of the day, it's calories in versus calories out, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you only include, fun, high palatable foods, foods that are easy to eat and not be full. And then now it's, 5 p.m. You ate all through your calories and you're like, oh crap, I'm really, really hungry. Your likelihood of falling off the plan just increases exponentially. All right. So, I wouldn't do that. This is where I simplify my diet the most. I eat a lot of greens. I eat a lot of foods high in fiber, and just try to make sure that I stay full. I'll drink seltzers or sparkling waters or even diet soda to give me that sensation from the carbonated water to feel full. Whatever you got to do, hunger is going to be an issue that you just have to deal with. And there's ways to combat it if you're smart, or if you're just, if you're not only listening to your taste buds. Okay. Ready to train like a savage. Again, this is no different than while you're in a bulk. You still need to train hard. You still need to train hard. The same way you train to build muscle is the same way you train to keep it. You don't start going high reps. You don't start going more sets. If anything, that's actually dumb, because you have less to recover. You have less energy to recover, and adding more sets is just a recipe for disaster. So the workout shouldn't change much. Your volume might drop a little bit, but again, you shouldn't be making the workouts longer for the sake of, leaning out. It just doesn't make sense. Okay. But you still need to train with a lot of effort. And lastly, you should cut if you want to look good without a shirt. The cool thing about cutting is you start getting more definition. You start, seeing visible lines, depending on how low of body fat you want to get. A lot of people overestimate their body fat percentages or underestimate their body fat percentages. What people think is like 10 to 12% is really like 13 to 15%. But again, that number doesn't matter. Just use the mirror as your guide. Use the mirror as your guide. There is a sweet spot. To get super, super lean, takes a lot of sacrifice, and most people think they want that, and then they realize how much work it takes, and then they're like, yeah, I'm good. I think that 12 to 15%, beach lean look is what 90% of people that I come across want to look like. Now, if you're a bodybuilder, or a physique athlete, and you just want to get shredded to the gills, that's going to require a lot of tedious work, a lot of tracking, a lot of data collection, and a lot of being pissed off because it's not fun. So just something to keep in mind. Not telling you what to do, but everything comes with a side effect or a trade-off. Okay. So the only difference between bulking and cutting is the amount of food you eat. All right. It literally comes down to the calories you're eating and how much you move, your activity level. Okay. No matter the phase, the principles should always stay the same. All right. So you need to stay within the calories that you're allotted based on your goal. Right. So if you're going to bulk, you're going to be eating more food. You got to just keep eating more food. And if you want to cut, you just got to keep eating less food. All right. You have to eat lots of protein. Non-negotiable. All right. 1 gram per pound of body weight or lean body mass. If you're 200 pounds, you should probably be eating 200 grams of protein. I covered in other videos. I'm just saying it again, and I'll keep saying it because protein is like the magic sauce to all this. You have to eat protein so you get that look. Okay. You got to train really hard because you just have to train really hard. That stuff never changes. No matter if you're losing weight to reveal the muscle or gaining weight to build the muscle, you have to train hard, okay? And you got to sleep even harder. Recovery is where all the growth happens. You have to recover for your muscles to grow, and you have to recover so when you're not eating as much food, you have energy to go on to the next day. When you're not eating as much food, when you're not consuming it as much, your recoverability actually worsens. So sleep becomes even more important if you want to get lean. I don't know how many times I've been in a cut where I messed up on sleep and all of a sudden my weight isn't budging, or I look kind of watery, or I'm holding on to, I just don't look right. The minute I sleep, get my 7-8 hours solid, boom, I wake up, I look leaner. Sleep is like a natural diuretic. And you should definitely hop on top of that. Okay. So guys, that's basically my, simple take on if you should bulk or if you should cut. For folks that are just looking for overall longevity, health goals, I would say, be at a healthy range of body fat to be in is for men anywhere from, I'd say, low end 12, high end, anywhere. I'm going to make the range even bigger. If you're anywhere from like 10 to 20% body fat, I think you're good. Once you start getting over 20% body fat, I would be careful. Anything over 22, you're basically fat for men. And then female, just add 10 to that. Okay. So females' bodies work a little bit differently. So I would say 20 to 30% is a good range to be in. And again, that number is subjective. If you like how you look, you like how you look. Okay. I'm not telling you what to do. Just in generally speaking, these are the body fat percentages I would recommend. And for females, female bodies are very different. More hormones going around. You guys carry literally babies and make humans. So, body fat might, they need more body fat than us guys. But again, obesity is not something you should be a part of because it can kill you. I get it. The body positivity thing, you should be, who am I to tell you how you should look with your clothes off? But be real with yourself. Being obese, being fat is not going to help you live longer. And I think you want to live long. Because when you have too much fat in your body, it's literally like stressing your organs that help your body function. And if those organs are under stress, that means they're going to work less efficiently. And if they work less efficiently, that means your organs work less efficiently. And if your organs work less efficiently, that means your likelihood of dying gets higher. But not to get morbid, just my 2 cents. I would definitely keep these in mind. For some folks, cutting or bulking is not even in their mind. It's like that you don't want to cut, you don't want to bulk, you just kind of want to stay somewhere in the middle. That's fine too. The principles still stay the same. Stay within your calories to stay in that range that you want to be size wise. Eat your protein so you can look good naked, and train really hard and sleep very well. All right. So that's all I have for you guys today. For any of you guys that are looking to simplify this process or need help remodeling your birthday suit, I'm an online coach at C-Form Training Systems where I help busy men look better with their shirts off. Okay. Now I work with women too, but I work predominantly with males. But I do have female clients. So if you're someone that wants to get your nutrition sorted out, your fitness sorted out, and need some accountability on the way, definitely click the link in the description below. Fill out an application where you and I get on a consultation call and we can talk about your fitness goals, see if I can help you. If I can, I'll show you what that looks like. And if I can't, I'll at least try to leave you in the right direction. So thank you for tuning in, guys. We're at 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Appreciate all you guys. More videos to come. Gonna try to do them weekly. I kind of slipped this past weekend because I had a wedding and I had some other stuff to go, but no excuses. But drop more videos. Let me know in the comments if you guys like to cut, if you guys want to bulk. Follow me on Instagram, LOCDZOE, LOCDZOE, same as my YouTube handle. We will see you on the next one. Peace.